This could go either way. I could either love this book or really find it quite mid. I totally forgot that Kai's full name is Malachi. If Jessa Hastings says one thing, it's deliver on the mass. This week, the goal is emotional damage. Hi besties, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name's Tori if you're new, and we are reading two of my most anticipated books of the year. Jessa Hastings has another book that will make me go back to therapy, and Lauren Roberts is completing a series that I have kind of mixed feelings about, but I loved the second book so much. It balanced out the hate that I had for the first book. So we're gonna really see how this goes. Can I also be a hater for just a moment? I want the pink cover. I want the pink one. The one that like the UK and Australia has. This is the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition, so maybe the red was their idea, but like, I want the pink one. So anyways, I think we're gonna start with Fearless. We're going to switch between like immersive reading and just listening to this audio. I don't know what's gonna happen to my heart with Peyton and Kai. I love Kai a lot. The ending of the second book, unwell. Like, just fully and totally, completely unwell. The goal is to finish these before May because we have a very full TBR in May. We made it to page 86, chapter 10. I made it to page like 50 last night, and then I listened to this a little bit more this morning. I am curious how the rest of this book is gonna go. I think I really enjoy Peyton and Kai in the series. I don't love the world building and like the world that we're in with these books. I like the romance, and I think that's why book 2 really stood head and shoulders above the first book. And so in this one we have a lot more characters coming into play. Kai has his brother Kit, and I'm not the biggest fan of Kit, but we'll see how this continues because I don't know if this series is like official like love triangle or not. It's definitely enemies to lovers, and it seems like there's a lot of yearning, which I love yearning. I've considered getting a tattoo in dedication to just yearning, so I really enjoy it. That feels so unhinged to say, but like truly what it does to me is insane, and so many of my tattoos are like book inspired that I'm like, why not get a tattoo dedicated to freaking yearning, because it's my favorite thing in the whole world. I just got the first perspective from Eldrick, which is very interesting because Eldrick is someone, we don't have a lot of insight into that POV. I'm gonna keep these updates vague because obviously this is a final book in a series and we're not spoiling anything. I'm very interested for that to continue because that could be a positive for me in this reading experience. This could go either way. I could either love this book or really find it quite mid. So we'll see. I'm gonna continue listening to this audiobook. I might have to slow it down a little bit. I don't know if it's the book or if it's my brain. It's most likely my brain, but even last night I was immersive reading this at like 2.5 speed, which is slower than what I usually do for an immersive read. I usually do like 3 times. And I was finding it really difficult to like absorb what they were saying. So it's probably just like my brain, but even this morning listening to just the audio, I haven't been immersive reading. It's been a little bit like, wait, what? What are they talking about? What are they saying? It's definitely not the writing style. These books have a super easy writing style to just like get into. It's also YA, so it's nothing that's like overly complex. It's not like a super crazy high fantasy or anything like that. So far, I would say like I'm not overly pulled in. I'm not like overly invested. I do like that this picks up right where the second book left off because we got left on a massive cliffhanger. And now the page length is making a little more sense because I was very surprised that this is almost 600 pages, 588. because the other books are so much shorter and this world isn't like a crazy world. So it makes sense that we're getting additional POVs that would increase the length of this book a little bit more. Those are the overall updates for Fearless. I only read one chapter of the Conditions of Will last night. Maybe because I'm going away this weekend and I have like a lot on my brain, I'm finding it a little bit harder to just like focus on the book in front of me. But I was really struggling reading with my eyeballs because I tried this one first and then I said, let me do an immersive read because that usually gets me like into things that much more, that much quicker, stuff like that. So underwhelming updates to begin, but I can only go up from here, right? Okay, this is the to-do list for today. Most of it is done. Actually, this is done too. I need to finish annotating Hungerstone for my friend. I'm like more than halfway done. I'm gonna go for my walk right now. It's my lunch break, so I'm gonna walk and listen to more of this beautiful queen. I'm trying to get to chapter 28. We're so sweaty. That's why I changed my shirt, because it's freaking hot out today. I think it's like 80, at least 85 out. But the walk was so nice. I wasn't sure if I wanted to do an update on this quite yet, but we did get quite a few developments and really the setup for like the plot of this book in that last section that I listened to. And I'm trying to hold off my judgment because my first immediate thought is like, I'm still having trouble getting into this book. During that walk, I found my mind wandering like when I was listening to this audiobook because I just don't think that it's holding my attention very well. We're doing a lot of circling back to book 1, but then in the last section that I read, circling back to book 2. And I understand that it's the final book, so I do like when things come full circle, but I feel like it's too soon for that to be happening because like, this is a trilogy, so it's not like we need a lot of refresher on the things that happened throughout the whole series. Mostly just how those events that happened prior in the plot are still emotionally impacting our characters, one in particular. It's such a short series. It doesn't feel like we're getting anything new. It feels like we're just reliving books 1 and 2, if that makes sense. And then we have another deadly competition in this book, which I was not expecting at all. And our character that's participating in these deadly trials, it's a lose-lose situation for this person. So there's just no stakes. The main character for me at this point is Kai because he's the POV that I love the most. I lock in when we get chapters in Kai's POV. Peyton's not my favorite main character. I really liked her in book 2, but again, I think it was because it was so focused on the romance in that book. What is happening with YAs? Is it me? Do I not like YA stories anymore? Like, what's happening? I guess we will find out. I'm gonna keep listening. My goal is to get to chapter 28 today. I literally just opened the book to a random place and was like, this is where I'm gonna read up to today. That may be like the determining factor. Hopefully this sucks me in a little bit more. Hopefully the trials get better, but I really didn't like the trials in the first book. I totally forgot that Kai's full name is Malachi. I think I need a break from this for the day, but also I feel like if I stop reading it, I'm not going to want to pick it back up. I cannot get into this like for my whole life. I found there's like a ball scene. I found it so cringe. It feels like children trying to run like a kingdom and it doesn't make any sense. It feels like the children are trying to run a kingdom, and it feels like their parents are gonna come home and like take things over again. I want this to be like a why choose. I want this to be a why choose between two brothers, and that would have me so much more in it between the two brothers. I was gonna say something else, but I don't want to spoil. That would be so much better than what this is. I feel like this has gone, we've reverted back to book 1 writing, and I don't like it. I'm on chapter 26. I'm really close to like the random goal that I chose for the day. I don't want to read more, and I don't want to be a hateful hater because I know that some people loved this book. I'm on page 216, but I just don't think that this is for me, which is very unfortunate. I just don't see it getting better. Okay, the things that I've heard, like the feedback that I've heard, I've tried to keep my eyeballs and my ears off of the reviews for this book because I did want to be able to form my own opinion. But from what I've heard, the last 200 pages, the last 100 pages of this are crazy, and they're so good, and everyone is obsessed. But this book is 600 pages long. Like, what do you mean the last 200 pages? I don't know if I can get through 400 pages of what we're currently doing. I don't know what to do. I'm definitely gonna put this down for now because I don't think that it's worth it, but don't be surprised if I say like I'm not picking this back up. That's just what's gonna happen. So I think we're just gonna switch to the conditions of will. The only thing is I don't feel like eyeball reading, but we're gonna suck it up. Go team. I was trying to catch up on my granny squares. I have to make like 4 yellow ones. Yellow is my color for fantasy romance. These are for my genre blanket. So I have to make 4 more of these, but now that we're switching to eyeball reading, we will not be catching up on granny squares. Cute. Very cute. Even though this bow is driving me crazy because I can't get it perfectly straight. Okay, I haven't even finished the chapter that we're currently in the middle of, but we need to talk about the conditions of will because I'm so in this and I'm only on page 62. I will give a synopsis in my own words. I will add to it. But Jessa Hastings is such a wordsmith. It's just too good. So our main character, London-based Georgia Carter, professional lie detector and body language savant. That's the perfect description of her. You could not get any more clear and concise and perfect in describing Georgia. She is getting a double master's in psychology and basically like body language. She's working, you know those people that are in the government, like the CIA and stuff, that are like professional body language readers? She can read people's mannerisms. She can read their face. Like, she mentions specific muscles. She's like, I saw this person move this specific muscle, and that indicates anguish, that indicates hatred, that indicates, you know, like whatever. Like she just reads people and knows exactly what their intentions are by their body language, which is crazy. Like, what a superpower. You don't even need to listen to their words that are coming out of their mouth. You know exactly what they're saying with their whole body. One thing about Jessa Hastings' characters is that they will have this like hyperfixation thing about them, and I love it. It just makes them so personable. It makes them feel so real. Not personable, because like not all of these are very likable characters, but it makes them feel so real because I don't think in coherent sentences. I don't know about y'all, but like my brain is thinking about so many different things, and also when a person is talking to me, I'm thinking about not what they're saying always. I'm thinking about stuff about them that I'm noticing. My brain does crazy things, and so it just feels like similar to a normal person's like thought, like a real person's thought pattern. You know what I mean? That's Georgia. That's like the first part. She is from South Carolina. She's from a wealthy family. They're a very closed off, very toxic family, and she ends up having to go back to South Carolina. There is a divide between her and her siblings. Basically, her and her brother, what the heck is his name? Oliver, are kind of the outsiders on this family, and then their two older siblings are like the parents' favorite, and it's just this whole thing. And it's so, the mother reminds me of my mom, which is not a good thing. Like there was one line in here in chapter 2 that sent me down a spiral, and I was like, oh, is this freaking play about us? Like thinking about me and my brother? There's always that niggle, sometimes conscious but most often not, that the people who made you, the ones who created you, your own flesh and blood, the ones who are genetically wired to want you, they didn't want me. They didn't want Oliver either. Not really anyway. Not the way that they wanted Marianne and Tenny. Oh my gosh, it freaking hurts. So there's a lot of drama of like Oliver and Georgia coming back and like being with their family during their dad's like funeral and the reading of his will. And apparently their father's will reveals a surprising bequest to a mysterious stranger. Georgia's ability to read people becomes crucial in unraveling her father's hidden past, which is, I haven't gotten to that point yet, but we have met, Oliver brings his sponsor, his like AA sponsor, to this whole shindig because her brother is an addict and like especially needs some additional support through this really difficult emotional time, and like dealing with their family who's clearly psychotic and crazy and not accepting. So he brings his sponsor, whose name is Sam Penny, and I am already in love with him. He's so hot, even though I don't love, like, maybe it's because I work with people in Australia, but they've lost a lot of their appeal for me. So like Sam is Australian and he is super hot. He's like dirty blonde, very tall, 6'4", tan, has an accent. He is so flirty, and him and Georgia hit it off like right away. But that's a very difficult relationship because Sam is Oliver's sponsor and he has to be like there for him and support him. But then it's hinted that Oliver might have feelings for Sam as well. And so it's just complicated on every single level. The family dynamic is complicated. The sibling dynamic is complicated. This romantic relationship is going to be complicated. And I am here for the mess. If Jessa Hastings does one thing, it's deliver on the mess. And also she delivers on the freaking descriptions because it's actually insane. This is a little bit of a diatribe, but I have to read it because if you've never experienced Jessa Hastings writing, like you just need to hear this. Georgia and Sam like woke up early before anyone else, and they're in the kitchen just like asking how each other slept, which is so innocuous and whatever. How'd you sleep, he asks, not looking away. I swallow heavily. There's something about him, isn't there? Like, beautiful and fascinating and so much bigger than me. When I was a teenager, I went with my friend's family over Easter break to the Dominican Republic because otherwise I was absolutely just going to stay in England. I don't think you're supposed to now. We'd probably get in lots of trouble for it these days, but fuck it. I was 16, we swam with humpback whales. It was crazy, actually. Behind them and beside them, it was this almost otherworldly feeling where you're so small, but not in the way that's degrading or upsetting, but the fact that you're on a planet at the same time as something so big and so significant. I don't know, it was strangely life-affirming. Like, you're not alone in the world. And I get the same feeling when I'm near Sam Penny.
swimming inside my affection, but with you I came second. So I cut off the connection, and now you're calling me, holding your heart there inside your hands. You say I'm where you wanna be, but you're out of chances. No, you don't get to come back, crying over the love that you had. Maybe nice try, maybe next time you'll hold on to what you have. No, you don't get to show up, teary-eyed saying I'm all you want. Maybe nice try, maybe next time you won't sleep on a good love. Keep on talking, but I'm already gone. You had your shot, but you went about it all wrong. Tried to pull you in close, eyes were locked on your phone. Now you're sour, cause I'm moving on. Oh, you're showing up at my door, holding your heart there inside your hands. Baby, I could have been all yours, but you're out of chances. No, you don't get to come back, crying over the love that you had. Maybe nice try, maybe next time you'll hold on to what you have. No, you don't get to show up.
Hi besties, couple days no chat. I did include some clips of when Ross and I went to Flagstaff and the Grand Canyon this weekend. I didn't get a lot of reading done, but today's Monday. I have the rest of the day from work off because like we literally just got back 30 minutes ago from our long weekend, and I do have reading sprints with the Patreons in about 2 hours. But we have some updates because I read 220 pages of this beauty the night before we left, and I stayed up until 3 in the morning reading this book because I couldn't look away. I couldn't put it down even if I wanted to, which I didn't, wouldn't have been able to. I was sob crying. Like, the way that I so unfortunately relate so much to this main character, it's actually heartbreaking, like listening to her story and having like aspects of my life reflected back to me in this book. It's crazy. So I don't know if I'm gonna do like a lot of updates about this book because like so far this has been such a personal reading experience. You know how you just have those books that like hit you so much harder emotionally than you ever thought that they would because like you just relate to what's happening a little bit too hard? That's the Conditions of Will for me. But please just know that this is a 5-star prediction. It was a 5-star prediction from like 50 pages in. Oh my gosh, it's so painful. I'm terrified of what's gonna happen with Georgia and Oliver's relationship because of like what's happening with another character. I'm so scared because they are like the only family that they have to each other, and I'm just like really terrified of like what's gonna continue going on. That's this, which I know is so vague, but if you haven't read Jessa Hastings before, this is your sign because the Magnolia Parks series universe hits so freaking hard. If you like character-driven stories, characters that feel so real, like these characters are walking around outside right now, you can't tell me otherwise, and super duper lyrical writing, you will love her. She packs such an emotional punch. Like, you will walk away from this book with 2 emotional black eyes, I promise you, and the whole Magnolia Parks universe. So that's the Conditions of Will. We'll talk about the other book that I started a little bit last night, and then I was reading it in the car today on the way home. So I started reading an arc called Honeyeater by Kathleen Jennings, and I am 35% of the way into this book. I'm feeling a little so-so about this so far. I think as I'm reading more of it, I'm starting to like it more, so I'm hoping to like focus on it today because I feel like if this is a book I put down, I won't feel super engaged to pick it back up. And the only reason why is because this writing style and this plot is very, very murky, and intentionally so. We have our main character, Charlie. To be honest, the main character of this book is the town that they're in, called Belworth. It's a subtropical town founded on floodplains and root-bound secrets. Charlie isn't a remarkable person. He's not a remarkable or memorable character. He's only notable because of his association with a lot of different people in his life that have disappeared. They're all women, as far as I can recall, and they're like his friends. His sister describes him as like too unfocused to be romantic with anybody. Like, Charlie is just such an odd character because he's nothing. Like, you don't remember him. It's just that you're getting his perspective of this town that he's lived in for most of his life, and he's like weirdly connected with the water of this town. None of this is gonna make sense. It's a horror book that is very planty. It's extremely descriptive. There's a lot of imagery of the scenery. Like I said, the town has its own persona. The house that he's living in, because right now he's cleaning out his Aunt Ida's house that he kind of grew up in after his mom died. Him and his sister moved to this town. He had a near-death experience where he almost drowned, and that is what has made him connected to this water. This is almost like sentient water. There's a mystery going on in this town of people who are disappearing, and Charlie, because of his near-death experience drowning, can like sense dead bodies. Anyways, this other character shows up. Her name is Grace. Desperate, with roses pressing up through her skin, drags Charlie into the ghost-choked mysteries of Belworth, uncovering the impossible consequences of loss and desire, a choice Charlie made when he was a boy. But peeling back the rumors and lies that cocoon the suburb disturbs more than complacent neighbors and lost souls, and Charlie and Grace are forced to a decision that threatens not only their lives, but all that they believed those lives could be. The point of this book is to be overly descriptive, lush. This plot is not a linear plot, in my opinion. This plot is swirling with a lot of mysteries, like this foggy flood water that's going to, my assumption is like end up drowning the whole town. I think that this water is like hungry. Every scene that you read, you just feel, and I'm gonna use gross words, humid, decaying, moist, like you can't get dry. Just think of like moss covered everything, vine covered everything. All of the houses are like paint peeling off, floorboards chipping away, splinters everywhere. Like everything is just rough and not livable, and yet these characters and this whole town is somehow surviving in this place where they just really shouldn't be, because this town doesn't want them there. Not that the town doesn't want them there. This town and this water and these plants seem like they just want to take over. If you liked What Moves the Dead by T. Kingfisher, I think you would like this book, except I think that the storytelling and the writing style of this one, you have to be okay. It's almost like trying to read with like a curtain over your eyes. Like you can kind of see through, but at the same time you don't know what's going on really. That's this writing style, and that's why I think it was hard for me to get into in the beginning, because I was like, okay, we've met these characters, but like what's even happening? Like what is going on? Why are we getting these descriptions of just the house, and they're like walking through this room and it's describing all of the random junk that's around that Charlie's trying to sift through for his Aunt Ida's house, and then he would go outside and you would get descriptions of the plants and stuff. I think it started to become more clear once Grace entered the picture, because she is a very, very interesting character, and she's very connected to like everything else that's going on, and it starts to help connect some dots. It's a book that I don't think I normally would have picked up, but when I was looking for arcs to request on NetGalley, because I'm trying to be better about being an arc reader and being like responsible, and I put in a request for a bunch of arcs, and this one came through first, and I believe that this is published by Tor. Yes, it's published by Tor, and I want to get in with Tor like so badly. I love, most of my favorite books are published by Tor Publishing, and I was like, you know what, this sounds intriguing. I'm gonna give it a try. I'm gonna give it a review, and they don't really miss. So I'm gonna keep reading it. Like I said, this is gonna be my focus for today. It's also really short. If we can't finish this today, that would be Litty Titty. And let's open some book mail. I have no idea what this is. I haven't been good about keeping up with my Fairy Loot Romantasy adult books. I need to read like a lot of these, and I also haven't been good about looking up what they're going to be beforehand, so I just keep getting them. We have, someone was talking about this book recently. This is the April book. We have The Wind Weaver by Julie Johnson. On the brink of destruction, a young woman discovers she's the fated remnant, one of 4 souls destined to either restore magic or doom the world. Period. Bound to a dangerous captor and torn by desire, she must master her unpredictable power before it consumes her and the world along with it. Oh, this looks like a beautiful book. This looks like a beautiful book. Ooh, it's not very colorful, but I kind of vibe with the white. I feel like I don't have a lot of white or like cream. It's very cream colored. Cream and golds. I feel like I don't have a lot of cream colored books on my shelves. Oh, stunning. Oh, yeah. Yeah, she's stunning. Oh my god, I love them. What? Oh my gosh, okay. The sprayed edges just have like feathers all around, and then this is Gorgina as well. And then the reverse. A prophecy reignited, a storm unleashed, a love that could shatter everything. I haven't read a lot of romantasy, it feels like, in April. I've been trying to keep my genres fresh and fun and not like falling into a genre spiral, and it's really been helping me so much. I've read, I think that this is my 13th book of the month, and this Honeyeater would be my 14th book of the month, so it's working for us. Oh my god, I love the typeface, and I love how big the font is. One thing about me, I love a big font. We have 2 minutes left in the sprint, so I need to be speedy about this update, but I'm on chapter 48, page 340 of the Conditions of Will, flying through this on sprints. Like, I actually can't believe it. Every single word that Georgia and Sam share together, I am on the edge of my seat. I'm smiling to myself. I'm being such a dumbass. Like, I feel like an idiot reading this book because I'm so far in it. Like, you know when you're just too far gone in any situation, you're like, this isn't gonna end well for me. This isn't gonna end well for me. I don't care. I am so delulu in the fact that I'm enjoying every single word, punctuation mark. Oh my gosh, when Jessa Hastings writes his kisses are commas, I want to scream. The shower scene, there's multiple shower scenes, but like, it's so good. It's so good. I'm gonna say that a million times and I don't care. I can't deal with this. The fact that around her head, the halo is pennies, I could literally cry. But the fact that this is the back of the book makes me wanna die. Besties, I just tried new heatless curls and I just took them out and I think that they came out really nice. Remember when I said I was gonna focus on this like horror arc that I was reading called Honeyeater, because I really wanted like to focus my attention there, and then I didn't look at her at all and I finished The Conditions of Will. No, I don't remember that either. Okay, perfect. We finished her. 6 out of 5 stars. Sam Penny is that man. Jessa Hastings' men do not miss. He's so perfectly flawed and yet such a perfect partner for Georgia that like I am screaming at the top of my lungs. I am absolutely not well. Also, I don't want to say anything about the ending that spoils. My overall thoughts, I really like how messy Jessa gets always. Like she does messy so well, but messy that's like realistic, because no family is perfect, no family dynamic is perfect, and it gets even messier when there's like addiction thrown in there and narcissism thrown in there and parents who maybe didn't want to be a parent but they just wanted to be in line with what society expected of them. Oh my gosh, the layers to this book, these characters, all of these dynamics. I think that Jessa understands human relationships almost too well. Also, the element of Georgia being able to read body language like a superpower and how it plays throughout the whole story. The reason why she decided to learn that in school, it breaks my heart. Like everything about this book breaks my heart, but I was expecting to be like in the fetal position on the floor when I finish this, and the fact that we do get, it's not like the happiest of endings, but it's almost like it's happier than what I expected it to be. So thank you for that, Jessa. I literally was expecting to be on the floor not wanting to feel my feelings anymore after finishing this, and that was not the case. It was definitely, it was really nice. Oh my gosh, I love her. And now I'm trying to hold myself back from reading the entire Magnolia Parks series again right away. I think that is gonna need to happen in May. Today, I do want to finish reading that arc called Honeyeater, and then we need to start this. I keep delaying this because I really don't want to eyeball read it, but today is the day. We need to do it. So once we finish Honeyeater, which I don't think will take us a long time because the book is less than 300 pages, so I do think we can definitely finish it today. It depends on how worky work is, and I might be overestimating myself because this is my first day back to work after a long weekend, but I really think it will be okay. Knock on wood, famous last words. I have officially signed up for Libro FM, which I'm very excited about. I just bought the audiobook for Crown of Midnight, so we're gonna listen to this. It's 1:38. I'm really in the mood for a second coffee of the day, but I'm out of coffee creamer, and lately on TikTok I've been getting a bunch of how to make your own like coffee syrup TikToks. This could go really wrong. This could go, I think, in a very sticky direction and burning sugar direction, but we're gonna see how it goes. I'm gonna make a brown sugar syrup, and then I'm just gonna keep it in my fridge. Looks really easy. I will leave the TikTok that I followed linked down below if you'd like to try it as well, but let's do it and let's listen to Crown of Midnight. I'm on chapter 2 currently. These audiobooks listen so fast that I was like, I know I can get this book read and done before month's end, but I desperately need the audiobook, and so we committed to it. Okay, let's cook. worried that it was gonna be really strong, especially with cinnamon, because I put in a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon and you can just like smell it. That made the house smell delicious, but like the cinnamon especially, you could really smell, so I got nervous that I put in too much. So I didn't want to put in like a bunch of the syrup and have it just be a ton of cinnamon in my mouth. But I think I might add like a little bit more syrup. It's really good though. Oh my gosh, that's so good. I just added like a little bit more. It's definitely very cinnamony. I might do a little bit less cinnamon. In the TikTok like recipe, he used 3 cinnamon sticks. I don't have cinnamon sticks, so that's why I just did like ground cinnamon. But this is very yummy. I'm gonna keep it in the fridge. I have no idea how long it lasts, but yum. Good morning. We just got back from bar and I am making my coffee at the moment. We need to catch up on some books. We were able to make it to chapter 27, which is 52% through Crown of Midnight last night. I am definitely enjoying this series so much more upon reread. Like, I remember the first time I read Crown of Midnight, I am not a Chaol fan, but he irritated me a lot more in the first read through, and now I really don't find him as annoying. The multiple moments that Chaol and Selena have shared in this book, I feel like I just blacked them out the first time that I read, to be honest. Like, I did not remember. Maybe I didn't remember, maybe I just blacked it out, because I like lightly annotated this book in pencil the first time I read it, and there were moments between Selena and Chaol where I would literally write like, ew. There's a moment where they're being so sweet, and she was like, Selena's like, in that moment, she really felt like she was home, like dancing with Chaol at one of the balls or something, and I literally wrote ew under it, and I was like, why am I being such a freaking hater? Like, he's really not that bad. He's just not my usual love interest that I enjoy to the fullest, but like, he's not a bad person. So I feel like because I'm liking Chaol a little bit more, this is going better. The part where I left off, I kind of fell asleep listening to this last night, so like the end of chapter 26 is a little bit murky, but I just was reading the last sentence. Where we left off ends on a cliffhanger. So the goal is to finish this today. I don't like how Libro FM doesn't tell you how much time you have left. It only tells you that I've listened to 6 hours and 35 minutes. Does it tell me? That's annoying. I have to get ice. So that's the Crown of Midnight update. We're gonna try to finish her today, which I think will be doable. And then I read a little bit more. I read to about 50% of Honeyeater, which was the arc that we were reading. And I ended up DNFing it at the halfway point. It's a good book, but I do think the characters fell super duper flat for me. And I don't think that the characters are supposed to be the main central focal point of the story. Really, the setting in that book is like a main character. I didn't vibe personally with the writing style that much because I felt like we were intentionally not being able to connect with our main characters. They feel very two-dimensional, and I wanted a little bit more depth. Horror books that I really vibe with, it's almost like they're a character study, like a lit fic mixed with really horrific elements. Those are my favorite. I just love a character-driven story, and if the characters feel flat, I'm not going to like vibe with it as much as I could. So I am gonna write a review for it, even though I'm DNFing, because I think there were really good aspects to the book that other people would really enjoy, but I just didn't. I never know with arcs. I'm like, normally with a book, I might rate it even if I DNF it, but with an arc, I'm like, well, I didn't finish it, I shouldn't rate it. I feel like with arcs, I get super duper in my head about everything, and I don't know why. It's just a freaking book. Do you ever just have a to-do list for the day that's so big you get overwhelmed and you're like, I don't know how I'm gonna do any of this, so your brain shuts down and you just don't do any of it? Because that's what was happening to me. I made my complete to-do list for the day, including some of the work stuff that I have to get done, and my brain was overloading. So I'm using Life at Spaces. This is like free, but it has like a little ambient room you can pick from, and then I have like specific tasks that I'm trying to get done basically in this like sprint. So I'm basically doing productivity sprints, but just to like keep myself on track because I was really getting overwhelmed, and then I was just like scrolling on Instagram, which isn't helpful. We've just started a 45-minute sprint. I have 39 minutes left. I'm listening to the audiobook for Crown of Midnight while I'm working on this sprint. I'm doing boring stuff at work, so I was like, let me just listen to this audiobook for a little bit. What happens with Nehemia in this book makes me so angry because she is my favorite character. Remember last update when I was like, Kale's not that bad? I didn't like him from like book 1, the first time I read these books. Obviously, I'm gonna be dramatic, but like, he's okay still. But what happens with Nehemia and his role of like what played into it makes me so annoyed and like angry at him, and then he's just being annoying after that. This is the downfall of Kale for me, honestly. No, I'm just kidding. I also forgot like how much the witches are brought up in this book, and it feels so random when they're brought up in this book because the book I mostly remember them from, maybe it was this one, but I thought it was Heir of Fire, where you get like a lot more of the witches in this world. Does this happen to you? When you read a series, do you, like, I remember the big plot points, I remember the characters, I remember what happened for the most part, but I can't remember for the life of me what book they happened in. So that's why, like, if someone's reading Throne of Glass for the first time, one of my best friends from college is reading Throne of Glass, and she is now ahead of me for this reread. She's on like Queen of Shadows. But when she was telling me about book 1 and book 2, I was like, I couldn't say anything, and she's like, why aren't you saying anything? And I'm like, I'm just reacting to what you're reacting to because I've read these books, but I do not want to spoil anything for you. So I am not going to like say anything at all because I don't remember what happened in what book. I feel like besides, I mean, I know I'm giving updates for this, but I really feel like this read, it's like no thoughts head empty because I'm not like reacting to things for the first time, but I'm reflecting on this as a reread and like what I know going forward of the story. I feel like this series, I don't know, some people loved it the first time they read it. Like obviously I know the Throne of Glass series is people's favorite series of Sarah J Maas. I feel like ACOTAR is my favorite. We'll see when I like get to the end if that does change, but I really don't think that it will. But like rereading this is such a different experience from the first read through. And I feel like as someone who started their Sarah J Maas journey with ACOTAR, and then I went to Crescent City, I never thought I was gonna read Throne of Glass. Because people talk about the writing style, and when I hear that a book series has a weak writing style, it makes me really nervous. That's why like I still haven't started the Zodiac Academy series because it just makes me nervous, because even if like I love a good writing style and it can ruin a book series for me, I feel like this writing style isn't as bad as what people like made it out to be. But anyways, my point being, I think that coming back to Throne of Glass after reading her other series first, there's so much like interconnectedness that you realize, and that's what makes this really fun, especially finishing like Crescent City with that third book, then coming back to this. It's actually insane, and I feel like it's helping me enjoy it more. I don't know if I would have had the best time, and I also don't know if I would have continued with Sarah J Maas if this had been my first series. Maybe if I had read it when it like first started coming out, which wasn't it like early 2010s? Yeah, like 2012, 2013. Everything happens for a reason, divine timing. Anyways, that's my update. I need to work for the rest of the 33 minutes of this productivity sprint that I'm doing, but that's my update. I'm annoyed with Kale. Long story short. We have, well, first of all, we have a little special guest down here just chilling. We have some book mail that I wanted to open. I'm so excited for both of these. This first one, I have the other books in this series. This one just shipped separately. But it's one of my favorite cozy fantasy romance series, and they just got new covers. And they're so beautiful, gorgeous, amazing. I love them so much. This just fits these books so freaking well. I'm obsessed with these. I ordered them as soon as they were available. Take my money. And then this one is from one of my friends that I'm so excited about. I still need to mail her book to her. Bethany, if you're watching this, I'm sorry, I'm gonna mail it, I promise. But I'm so excited for this. Oh my gosh. Oh. Shut up. Shut up. There's so much candy in here. Oh my god. Slay. I have never tried UK candy before. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Oh my gosh, cute little bamboo socks. Little page like holder opener thing. I need to start using those. I have one of them. And this like resin bookmark. Oh my gosh, so cute. We annotated books for each other. This looks so pretty. I'm so excited. She illustrated it. Oh my god, the color palette looks so pretty. I'm gonna cry. I'm literally gonna cry. This is so cute. Thank you so much. Little bath bookmark. Little bath bookmark. Book Lovers Club. Oh my gosh, focus. Watermelons and bows. Freaking adorable. You are so very cute. Oh my god. We finished Crown of Midnight. We did it just in the nick of time, literally on April 30th, because I wanted to have a clean slate going into May for Escape the Readathon. So we finished her. I did listen to like a little bit of the audiobook this morning. I had like 3 chapters left, but the chapters at the end are so short. So we're counting it as finishing in April because we read literally the majority of this in April. I am very shocked at how much more I like this than the first time I read it. The first time I read it, I gave it 3 stars. This time I'm giving it a 3.5. I feel like I'm being a little snooty about that rating because it could probably be a 4-star if I'm honest, but I just hate what happened like with Nehemia and her character. I'm very shocked at how much more I'm liking Kale. I hesitate to say it that way because I'm not sure if I like him more, but I understand his character more. And I think I understand the connection between him and Selena, whereas the first time I read this, I didn't like him. I just thought he was annoying, and so he grated on me from the first book, and then into the second book it just kind of got worse because he is much more of a focal point in this one than he is in the first. The first one really focuses on Dorian. I feel like I should give this a 4-star because the setup for the rest of the series, I feel like this is a little bit of a transitional book. Being a sophomore book in a series, sometimes that can happen, right? Like the bridge between the first book of Throne of Glass, which was basically like a Deadly Trials book, to this one that's really setting up where the rest of the series is going to go. It's such an interesting mix between the flavor of the first one and then the change that's going to take place in the third book. I'm very happy to be rereading this, to be honest. I don't think I would have chose to reread the series had it not been for Silly Goose Lane, my Patreon. So honestly, thank you so much. Reading this with you guys has been so much freaking fun to yap about all the little details in the Discord. Thank you for watching this April cramming vlog. I'm sorry that it kind of turned into a couple different things. At first, I really thought we were going to be reading Fearless. I thought we were going to be reading The Conditions of Will and just focusing on those 2 as like new releases. But then it transitioned into, oh shucks, I need to read for the rest of the month and like finish some of these books. So it turned into an April cramming vlog. But thank you so much for watching, friends. If you've made it this far, leave a little tulip in the comments down below for May flowers. I'm so freaking excited for May. It's my birth month. It's Taurus season, which is the best season. It's also Gemini season. It's a wonderful time to be alive. I'll catch you in the comments and I'll see you in my next one very soon. Toodles.